Hey, we're back. Tabletop Throwdown is back. We've been gone for a couple of weeks, and then we were gone for like a week before that. It's been crazy, so crazy, in fact, that we've decided we're going to go to an every other week schedule for right now. Not really thrilled about having to do that, but two of us are actually moving, and things are just going to get even more hectic. So we'll just, not overburden ourselves and put out an inferior podcast for you all. We're just going to go to every other week for the time being, and hopefully, I would say probably right before Origins, we'll be able to go back to a more regular schedule.
We shall persevere.
Maybe after Origins, and we'll have some fun stuff from Origins for that. But anyway, so like I said, things have been hectic. We were at GAMA Expo 2024 pretty much exactly a month ago. And it's taken us this long to get some coverage out and talk about it. So apologies for that. We did have some technical difficulties with a hard drive that could have just made all of our video go away. Luckily, I have a brother-in-law who's a whiz with this sort of thing, and he was able to help us retrieve that. And we're gonna get a lot of that coverage up on the site on our channel soon. But we thought it would be fun to do a just kind of let's talk about it. Now, of course, tonight I've got with me Mark Julian and Dan Hinken, my lead editors and co-hosts of Tabletop Throwdown. Mark and I actually went to GAMA Expo. Dan did not. He's going to ask us questions, and probably we won't be able to give him answers because we don't really know that much about some of these games yet. But I think it'll be fun. We've got a few clips of some like really quick demos from the media first look, and we got some photos and some other clips from like when Mark and Chris went and hit some of the booths. I guess let's just start off. A lot of people might not know what GAMA Expo is.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Is can you give like an overview? I mean, you got Gen Con, you got Origins, you've got some of the PAX Unplugged and PAX ones that are just general conventions, but GAMA is a little bit different because it's really for the publishers and for the distributors, right?
Well,
yeah.
It's basically for the industry. So everybody except for it's more of like a trade show. So we talk to a lot of the same people at the other conventions when we get some of our preview coverage, but this is a chance for them to interface directly with retailers and for publishers and game designers to have we get a little more access to hang out with some of these folks because it is a much, much smaller convention. I think it was like about 5,000 or 6,000 people, which is a record for GAMA Expo. And there's a reason for that, which we'll get to in a second. But yeah, it's basically a trade show. Deals are made here, and we've gaming trend has been going for the last 3 years. Including this one. But that was when they actually invited media to become a part of the organization initially. So media hasn't even really been allowed, except for like a few like instances here or there where people managed to get badges to go. But it was 3 years ago, about 3 years ago, where they started letting media come to the expo, and a little before that, when they started letting media actually become members of GAMA. GAMA, of course, being the Game Manufacturers Association. Now, GAMA also runs Origins, which is the next convention that we're going to, and that is more of a public-facing thing, and we're going to have some fun with that. But GAMA Expo has been a great opportunity for us, and I've had a blast every time. This year in particular was really good.
Yes,
what did you think about it, Mark? This was your first time.
Yeah, it was my first time at GAMA. I was surprised, really. So I knew it was going to be smaller. I was expecting, based on my experience at Gen Con and then PAX and how busy those were, I was like, this is going to be great. It's less people. I'm going to have time to talk to everybody. I'm going to hit every single booth. And it's just impossible. Even though it's less people, that means there's more time to talk to those people, more access, like you said. So then you end up just talking longer, and you still can't get around to see everybody. So really cool to have different experience, a little bit more in-depth conversations with some of the publishers. But there's still just so much to see, for one team to try and cover. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it was cool because we had four people there. We had a crew of 4, which is the most we've. Well, no, we had a crew of 4 last year, but last year we had a booth. And I'm sure some of you might have seen the coverage that we got last year. That was really nice. And we've saw a lot of the same people this year. But last year was when we were one of the first outlets to discover Gnome Hollow. And that was just kind of an amazing thing. So I mentioned earlier that it was bigger this year, and the reason for that is because GAMA Expo actually changed locations. This is the first year that GAMA Expo was held in Louisville, Kentucky. Previously, it was held in Reno, Nevada, and probably a big reason why attendance was up was because so many more publishers and so many more retailers are located like on the East Coast, or like what is it, the Midwest, that sort of thing. So it was a lot easier for them to make it out. Now I heard that folks from California were grumbling this time around, right? But you can't please everyone, and honestly, it was a great show. I think like some of the problems that I had with it was honestly the reason why we didn't get as much time with exhibitors. Is because the exhibit hall was not as big a part of this convention as it is in other conventions, and so it would open in the afternoon and only stay open for like about 6 hours?
No, it was only about 4 hours, I think. So
4 hours, yeah. 4 hours for 3 days.
Bit of a weird dynamic there where the morning is all like almost like not really working sessions, but presentations from publishers really geared towards the retailers. Like, hey, here's what we have coming out. Here's how you can access, the retailer portion of our site to, wholesale prices and all that stuff, which is not really.
We'll give you deals if
right.
you order from GAMA.
Yeah, if you order right now, you get this discount or whatever, which is not really what we are there for. So the mornings were largely not incredibly useful, though. We'll talk about it later. The Star Wars Unlimited presentation in the morning was massive, and that was definitely worthwhile. But the afternoons with the exhibit hall was really where we're getting coverage, and it was, like you said, much shorter than, say, like Gen Con, where we're in there like all day.
Yeah. So you guys, I was sitting back at home hearing about all the cool things that you had coming out. I mean, we got a chance to see some of the things that we had seen previously and maybe get some updates on some of those things. So I know, Mike, you mentioned Gnome Hollow, which I've gotten a chance to play that prototype, and it's going to be released by the Op. Any news on that one, or any other updates on some of those games that we've talked about before?
Yeah. So they were showing off like the new box art for Gnome Hollow, and a much more fully realized prototype of the game. And not that Ammon's original prototype was bad; it was actually really good. I know Ammon worked on, and we're going to put a picture of it up here. Here, as a matter of fact, let me put that on the screen now so that you can see it, Dan. Yeah, I mean, as you can see, a lot of things really kind of stayed the same, but they really just kind of cleaned it up and made a lot of things more. A lot of things pop a little more, like the mushroom trails pop a little more. The player boards are a little more optimized and work better. What I thought was cool is that the treasure, they basically kept that more or less the same. Obviously, it's manufactured components instead of the stickers on like 3D printed flat pieces that Ammon had, but is super cool. They are, like we mentioned before, they are going to theme. They are going to theme the booth at Gen Con around this. And what you got something?
Yeah, I'm just excited about this one. I mean, like I said, I got a chance to play the prototype, and it was great. And I see this as a great introductory, game to something that's an inviting theme, but also just something that you get a little bit more depth to it. So it's definitely one of those great transition games. And then there's options for it to get a little bit harder if they need to. And to tell you the truth, I've been really impressed with like the direction that the op has been going with some of these publishers and really diving into some of the hobby games. I mean, even on social media, I've seen some of these big publishers and designers that they've been bringing on to the team for that hobby game side. And this is a really great one to kind of kick off that Gen Con season. Even though they've been putting out a few pretty good ones in the last year or two on that hobby side. So I'm pretty excited about the direction the op's going. Apart from some of those, those marketed IP games, they put the sticker on some of those other familiar things. So it'll be cool to see where they go with it. For sure.
Right. Totally. Another game that I got to take a quick look at some updates on was Luthier. So this is a more realized version of the player board. It's definitely come a long way. It just visually, it makes a lot more sense than the last version of the prototype. Very nice. So these weren't actual components. This is just the art involved. Like for instance, this board, the main board, this has come a long way since the last time we saw it. Much more visually appealing. This is just a printout on like a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper with like that's been laminated. But you can see where it's gone. Just looking better and better. Very, very excited about this one.
Another publishing company right there that does a really nice job with quality. Paverson. I mean, Distilled was such a great game, and just the thought behind it, and the expansion, and in the the cast strength expansion that just came out. That they're going. I just really appreciate the attention to detail that they're putting out, and just the quality of the game. Rather than chunking out a bunch, they're really putting the time in to make something quality. So
it's really nice, just vibrant artwork too. Stuff that just pops off the table rather than kind of the beige blandness that sometimes board games can get.
Totally. And we'll actually have reviews up of both Distilled expansions up probably in the coming weeks / month. We're going to see what we can do.
Nice.
They're very additive, so it shouldn't be too hard. And then the last game that I was really excited about that that we got to look at is Mollyhouse. And I've got a clip of this that we're going to share right now from the media open house, the media first look night, and yeah, there's some big changes since PAX Unplugged. Let's take a look at that.
Anything?
Yeah, just so Drew, you gotta. This is Mollyhouse.
This is an early prototype, handmade version of Mollyhouse, where we're really excited to bring it to GAMA Expo, and we're showing off some of the first preliminary art that we've been receiving from our artists that we've been working with, Rachel Ford, and you can see some of the early layout that they're doing, featuring this tarot-style panel that's associated with one of the mini playing card suits that features a quote from the depositions of, in this case, Richard Chancellor's trial from October 1728. A snippet is an arbor in the garden, and all of the cards are going to feature primary source quotes integrated into the tarot-style card that you're going to be using to celebrate queer joy at these festivities being thrown at one of the various Molly houses in this game. It's been really fun to work with.
Now this looks really different from when we saw it at PAX Unplugged.
Yeah.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, on your turn, you roll a pair of dice. You can move up to 4 places. You might take an action like protecting the house or burning some heat off of you or throwing a party. And at the end of your action, you will roll another pair of dice that will determine how many places the patrol markers are going to walk towards your location.
Oh, wow.
So you move, you take an action, you resolve the event afterwards. It's snappy, short turns, but it still has all of the flavor and the tension of the game that we played back at PAX Unplugged.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to get my hands on this.
Thanks for checking it out.
Yeah. So yeah, as you can see from the clip, they totally changed the board. I don't know if you watched our gameplay video from PAX Unplugged, but this is radically different. And the reason for this is because it has now become a roll and move game, or at least they've introduced roll and move mechanics into it. So it's pretty wild, some pretty wild changes. And like, as you saw in the clip, a lot of new artwork has been folded in. They're continuing to just hammer and iterate on this game, and it's shaping up real nice.
Yeah, it looks drastically different from what we saw at PAX just last year. So it seems to be coming along.
See some of the art there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it just keeps with that same style of some of those other games. You know, that the problem with sometimes with historical games is trying to get, you know, theme and gameplay and get people invested in a topic. And I think, you know, with PAX Premier and John Company and, you know, Mollyhouse kind of in that same vein, it's they just do a great job of getting theme and history, and you kind of learn something from playing the game, but you still want to come back and play it. You know, it's not, they don't sacrifice one for the other.
Well, and they're this is gonna be like their least complex game too.
Yeah.
Like, at least in terms of, you know, not in terms of theme, but certainly in terms of game mechanics. It's gonna be a little lighter than you might expect from Whirligig. But yeah, no, it's shaping up very nicely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love the style of their games too. This kind of clean but also kind of sketched style they have for the artwork and everything. It carries through all the games that they've published. So yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, yep. It's good stuff. Well, Mark, did you have anything that you were eyeing while you were walking through?
Oh boy, I saw so many things. So while Mike was wheeling and dealing with the bigwigs, Chris and I hit the floor. And there's a lot going on. So first off, thing I'm most excited for, Star Realms Academy. So this is Wise Wizard Games. and it's Star Realms. So the game, probably anybody watching this is familiar with, the classic deck builder, but they've remade it or re-implemented the system for kids. They took all the text out, simplified the rules a little bit, redid all the artwork so that it's real cute, like animated ships and stuff. The blob cards are the absolute best. But it still plays like Star Realms, so that you can introduce, your 5-year-old to deck building mechanics in the game, which is convenient because I have a 5-year-old. So super excited for this. I got to check it out with Rob from Wise Wizard. He was very excited about it. You could tell he was really passionate about it. So I can't wait to get my hands on it. Star Realms Academy.
Yeah, it looks cool. I've got some nieces and nephews that I'd love to introduce some games like this to. Just not your typical Candyland intro kind of games. Get them into some different, deeper thinking and some mechanics. So
yeah, deck building is such a foundational mechanic. Check out our episode about deck building.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely.
And then introduces them to linking symbols together. But without them having to try and read, complex words and stuff. It's all they've replaced all the words that are required with symbols to make it a bit easier. And then they took the math out. So instead of tracking your, 50 health, you have 15 health, and they're actually tokens on your player board. So if you take 3 damage, you just pull 3 tokens off your board. If you heal 2 damage, you put 2 tokens back on your board. So it just makes it super easy for kids to play. But still seems fun, for the adult as well.
Yeah, they've been doing a great job of getting some of those introductory games, Robot Quest Arena that they had, this in the last year. They just did the expansion for. It was a really great introduction, probably a step up from this, but introduction to deck builder, and then you get to fight with robots on a board, and it was pretty fun too. So I like how they're trying to get the younger players into the game. Yeah. It's always nice.
Yeah, they just completed a crowdfund for the 2, I think it's 2 or 3 new robots.
A couple new robots.
Yeah, a couple of new robots, and they had a new board that was bigger, right?
Yeah, there's a bigger board that takes the edge off, so you can go all the way to the edge of the board.
Got it.
Play with more players.
Yeah, it definitely needed more space, I thought. Yeah, especially with higher player count. Mm-hmm. Let's actually go through a little bit of rapid fire here. There's a new Boop coming out this holiday season. It's Boop the Halls, and we're gonna look at a clip right now.
It's so good.
So this is Boop the Halls. In Boop the Halls, you still get to enjoy your classic Boop thinky strategy game where you try to line up 3 cats in a row, but with a few new twists. So as you can see, we're no longer on a bed, we're actually on a Christmas tree. And we all know how kittens and cats interact with Christmas trees. Ornaments are going to be getting knocked off and smashed left and right. So in this version of the game, you can either win by being nice and lining up 3 cats in a row, or by being naughty and breaking 3 of your opponent's ornaments. So as you play through the game, if you don't have an ornament on the tree, you have to play one for your own color, and your opponent can break it by either knocking it off the tree or by bouncing a large cat into it to smush it.
Don't you mean pooping it off the tree?
Oh, of course, I do mean pooping it off the tree. So we're super excited about it. The 3 dimensions adds a layer of depth that actually ends up tripping people up quite a bit, so it creates a new challenge. And since ornaments have to fall down, because that's how gravity works, you can actually use that in creative ways to set up runs of cats where you can actually put a cat here and this ornament's not going to go anywhere. So you can use it to kind of block some things off.
Very cool. Yeah. Very cool. Awesome. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's Boop the Halls.
I have to.
We're big fans of Boop here at Gaming Trend.
I have a confession.
Yeah,
I have a confession. I still have not played one of the Boop games, and it's really bad because I have people who love cats in my life, and I just need to get to it. So maybe this will be the first one, but I really want to play it. I really want to get to it. So,
I could let you borrow my copy, dude. It's because I've got Boop and Boop which is the Halloween themed one, which is great. The thing I like about what what Scott is doing. Scott Brady, the designer, is doing with these Boop games. I mean, first of all, the core concept is just fantastic. It's a great 2-player abstract game that really feels fresh in a field of like full of 2-player abstract games that are trying everything under the sun. So it's adorable. And then he comes out with these variations. I'd heard about Boop, and I think he even told me about Boop the Halls. I was actually expecting the another one that they keep on mentioning, which is Beep Boop, which is going to involve robots somehow. But the thing is that each one of these sub-themed versions of Boop adds a new mechanic that is actually really fun, like really cool, and really adds like a unique spin to those core game mechanics that work so well. And it's been pretty impressive.
I'll wait for the inevitable Boop big box that has all the themes and all the boards and has something big. I don't know. Someday down the road.
Comes with a real cat.
Comes with a real cat.
Now comes with a whole litter. Just orange kittens and just gray kittens.
Let's just make sure we don't get into a litter box version. I don't want to talk about what we're avoiding or knocking off in there.
Right. Comes with a tray of sand. All right. Okay, next one. We're gonna talk about. Okay, here is a game from, I believe it's Peak Tiger. The designer's name is Amy, and we got to actually play this game the last night. Mark, this was Hurt Party. Let's take a look.
This is Pink Tiger Games. My newest game is Hurt Party. It's a game of bad apologies. Inside there are 250 hurt cards and 250 apology cards, and on your turn you get to be the person who's hurt. So you tell everyone what you're hurt about. You popped all the bubble wrap without me, and then everybody else has to apologize and give their best/worst apology. So you popped all the bubble wrap. Sorry, maybe you need a snack. And I'm sorry I got caught. Terrible apologies. And the game is inspired by a podcast interview that I gave in November 2020. So this is the game that's taken me the longest to make. And in that interview, I talked about a hard apology that I'd given that was really, really important to me. And I was like, I want to make a game about apologies, and I thought I would make a sincere, sweet one like all the rest of my games. And I couldn't do it. It was impossible. Every time I tried, my family was like, no, this isn't fun. So I leaned way into bad apologies, and people loved it. And so that's how I came to Hurt Party, a game of bad apologies. It's on Kickstarter now until March 15th.
So yeah, like I said, Mark and I got to play this one. We had a blast that last night. Like, I mean, I don't know about you, Mark, but I've played a ton of Cards Against Humanity variant type games like this. And I mean, up until now, I think my favorite has been Joking Hazard. Because it's like, assembling a comic strip, which I thought was pretty cool and a very unique take. But this one ended up being just a blast, especially it like everybody just kind of competing for like that delivery of their hurt, right? It was super fun.
And so it's designed in such a great way too, where all the cards are really like awful. Like you would never say this to somebody, like it would hurt
Right.
their feelings. But they're not like bad or mean. They're like, the game is still nice, but there are things that you like wouldn't say, and it comes together in a way that I don't feel bad that I said this to you in the game. It was still fun. But to be honest, I hate these types of games. I hate them.
Yeah. Right?
So
Yeah,
when we
usually
sat
do.
down here, I was not prepared to have a good time. And then, as you said, it was so much fun. And really, because everybody was into it, like really acting up the delivery and how they were saying their lines, and that made it fun. If you just had people around the table just blandly reading the cards, it would lose all of its magic. So definitely worth checking out. Play it with people that want to really play and get into it.
Yeah, and this one was on Kickstarter during GAMA Expo. It only just barely surpassed its goal of $10,000. It made $12,375. So I'm really glad Amy's going to get to make this game, because I think once people start to see it, they will it'll be a hit. I could see this being a big hit. Pink, she's been doing some great work with Pink Tiger Games. I'm trying to remember what some of the other games that she's done off the top of my head. I'm really horrible about that.
Well, they did Cloud9, Lost for Words, some of those. There's a lot of these party games and these different simple games that kind of let you
Lost for Words, yes.
Yeah.
You Think You Know Me.
Mm-hmm. And I think
basically social. We're more social party games,
mm-hmm.
right?
And I think that there's social games like this are kind of a dime a dozen, but I think what I'm seeing the trend for some of these is that we're going back to some more of the wholesome and trying to be a little bit more empathetic, a little bit more, connecting with people and having some good, clean fun. I mean, I think the shock value of Cards Against Humanity can wear off pretty easily, because you're just oh, what kind of crazy, dirty thing can I do? Or, you have games like this, or you have it's kind of a fun story that just came out. Just ways that you can connect with people and you can get to know them in some different ways, and but in more of a wholesome way, that brings people together rather than, let's see who we can offend the most. So I like the push of that, especially in the day and age that we live in. So those kinds of games that bring people together are great. So
yeah. So that was super cool. Definitely when she finally gets this made and everybody gets their copies who backed it, don't be surprised if you start seeing this pop up in some stores, because I think it's going to be a hit.
This could easily fit on a Target shelf. She's able to
absolutely,
get it in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what's next on my list. Let's take a look at Canopy Evergreen. Yes, I am. Yeah, we got a clip from First Media Look for that one as well. Let's take a look at it.
Sure do. All right, this is Canopy Evergreen, where each player is growing a rainforest in the Pacific Northwest. On your turn, you'll be collecting cards by looking at one of these three piles. You'll look at each one, decide if you want to keep it. If you do, you'll add it to the forest. If not, you'll put it back, and then you can look at the next card. So you'll be pressing your luck to find the pile that you like. So the piles will grow and evolve. You'll collect different plants, animals, and trees. When you collect trees, you'll be able to start a new tree or add that to an existing tree to make them taller. And as you grow through your forest, you'll gain ecosystem tiles, which will add to your forest's appeal. You'll also be collecting animals, which you can use to guard piles and complete sets of different animals. And whoever grows the most healthy ecosystem of a forest will win the game.
Awesome. Sounds great. So this isn't an expansion to Canopy?
This is a sequel.
It's a sequel. Got
Standalone
it.
sequel. So
all right.
It will be, so it got a few extra levels of complexity, and is also designed to play up to 4 players. So it's for the same core gameplay.
Awesome. Yeah, so that's Evergreen, Canopy Evergreen. Now, Dan, you've played the other Canopy game, right?
Yeah, I just actually reviewed it for the site. So the original one was a really cool little card game for 2 players. I mean, they had a 4-player variant, but it really plays well at 2-player, and you're really kind of drafting cards and building up what your forest is going to look like. So this looks really cool because they're taking, this little card tableau that you're building up with different animals and kind of building it 3D and some different, weather threat cards, different ways that you can kind of synthesize animals within. I really enjoyed Canopy, and so this looks like a lot of fun, and it looks a little bit better for the 4-player rather than just adapting the 2-player game. So I'm really looking forward to this one.
Nice.
I was really in.
And
really
it looks like it's like of a kind with their other game, Leaf, which I picked up at PAX Unplugged and have really enjoyed. It's like a tile laying game, but the tiles are leaves or leaves. Yeah.
Well,
Leaves.
One of the cool things that you did.
I can't talk.
It's all right. One of the cool things that you did in the original Canopy is that you kind of drafted cards and you could build these cards that stacked on top of each other, and built your trees. Then you put a canopy that would add like a modifier, and so seeing this kind of being built 3D trees that you're building this forest is kind of a cool twist on the mechanic. So
now, Mark, there was one that you guys took a look at, 7 Impossible Things.
Yeah, mind blowing.
Yeah. Let's, what? Before we get into it, let's just take a look at the clip.
All right. Hey, everybody. Hi. This is Richard Molina. He's a fantastic game designer at Infinite Rabbit Holes with me.
Michael Boris.
I am Michael Boris.
Amazing game designer.
That's right. And we made one of your favorite games, I'm sure, Panic in Gotham City. It's an AR experience. It's a puzzle experience. It's maybe a 10-hour room escape experience for your friends and family when they work together to save the city and step into Gotham. That's perfect, right?
That's good.
Now, we're excited about that. But this year, we are excited about 7 Impossible Things. It's our new baby. It's a little smaller, but all the action that's in that game is inside this game. That's right. And the story takes us through Wonderland. And we work with this crazy character named Jervis the Rabbit as we get inducted into a secret society in which I'm not at liberty to tell you what it is just yet. That's really important. Okay. It's the Infinite Rabbit Hole Society. And your friends and family work together, solving puzzles, both AR and printed, in amazing ways.
Through the world of Wonderland.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Can you show us one thing that's really mind-blowing, Richard?
So our game uses all of these physical components, all sorts of different challenges in these mysterious envelopes, but also this app that creates magnificent augmented reality experiences. Whoa! Like an enormous mushroom forest growing right in front of you, filled with butterflies flying around. Oh, where did Jervis go? He's hanging around over here somewhere. Oh, now there's some teeth flying around. I mean, we've got all sorts of wacky stuff going on in our AR world.
Nice.
And so all of these are pieces of puzzles that you are going to solve inside these mysterious envelopes. The mushroom forest will be one. The teacups will be another.
And if we look at my iPad here, and if we go here, we see a magic card house that we've just built. And you can see actually human beings behind there. You see that Jack of Spades that's there? Do you see that?
Yep.
Check out when I look through the window to its left. It's a completely different view of it because it's a whole different world that you're seeing behind. So in our opinion, it is the inception of AR puzzle experiences and takes what we did with Panic in Gotham City, but trumps it pretty hard. This is still awesome, but this is a different flavor of awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. We are
Sounds great. Can't wait for it.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
So yeah, Infinite Rabbit, we actually reviewed their first AR game, Panic in Gotham City, and if I recall, James thought it was super cool, but it seemed like they were going to do something even cooler after that one, right? Because you could tell that they learned a lot when they made that game. And yeah, when we saw them at Media First Look, I they totally showed us what they were working on. They were like, oh yeah, this is a lot cooler than what we did with that game because of all the things we learned. It's actually going to be a much more affordable, smaller box, like, and I believe they've already got a distribution deal for it. It might even hit some big box stores when it comes out. But I think this is going to be a big hit for them.
I don't remember the exact.
It really showcases the technology super well.
I don't remember the exact price point, but I think it was less than $50. Maybe like $40 or something for this box. So, really, really good way to get into it. And then, it's 7 impossible things, but it's not just 7 puzzles. There's 7, envelopes, 7 impossible things that happen within the system, but there's more puzzles than that to solve while you're going through them. But the technology behind it is just astounding. Well, it doesn't just pop up something in augmented reality, but it's seamless with the background, and then you integrate pieces onto the table and new things pop up, and you can walk all the way around. You can put another puzzle down, and the other one still exists within the world that doesn't, it's able to focus, on multiple things at the same time.
Wild.
And then if you look from the perspective of the rabbit, and then he might be looking into another world within the world that you're looking at, that opens up more stuff. So crazy. We didn't get a chance to actually play it, just to kind of look around. Looks amazing. Can't wait to check this one out.
Yeah, and actually, like the footage, the clip that we just showed you is just from Media First Look Night. Mark, you went to the booth and you actually got a more in-depth demo. We'll have that coverage up soon.
Yeah.
So.
And if you are a fan of Batman and want to see more of that, they do have more content for the Batman game planned as well that will integrate together with the existing content. So,
I didn't know that.
So they're continuing to develop the system with this new game, but also more Batman content as well.
When you talked about big box distributors, I know I saw the Arkham Files is in Costco now, and that's it would be cool to see some more of those big games and those distributors there for, those mass markets, to get some of those guys in there.
Yeah, I thought that was super interesting. I think that, Costco and Sam's Club, I think, as a distributor for the game. It's super cool.
Yeah.
Nice. I got one more, but Mark, what do you
let's talk
anything
about,
else pop out for you?
Yeah, let's talk about Invincible, because second half of season 2 is ongoing right now, so it's on everyone's mind. I think the finale just came out, right? Was the last episode I watched the finale?
Yeah, there's one last episode that I haven't watched. I watched 2 of them last week.
Okay. Anyway, now I'm distracted thinking about
good
the show.
Stuff.
The show's so good.
No, it's over now.
So Direwolf is putting out an Invincible board game, and it's cooperative. It's a bag builder, so everyone's going to choose one of the heroes. You can be Invincible, you could be Rex, you could be Kate. All the main characters, and you're going to pick a bad guy. One of the villains, and then there's going to be a villain deck, an event deck. If you're familiar with, here it is. So, if you're familiar with Marvel United, where you're playing as heroes, it's cooperative, and you're going around different locations fighting a villain. It has that same feel, but way more serious, way more going on, way more strategy. Whereas Marvel United's a pretty simple kind of
way smaller heads.
Yes, no chibi characters.
Yes.
But so you have, these are examples of different power cards. You have some base powers, and then you can upgrade your character during the game, add new powers to your board, and you're drawing cubes out of a bag to activate your powers. Some of the cubes are bad and will activate either the main bad guy or supporting villains that are coming out on the board. I don't remember the exact number of scenarios, but there was a good number of scenarios, and it seems pretty difficult as you go through. And you can pick whichever scenario you want to play, but they are strung together in kind of a story arc that you can play through. Really excited for this one with a little bit of deck building, with the upgrading your powers, the bag building, which is a big hit. And then gives you that co-op superhero battler that I wanted Marvel United to be, but in like a serious game, not so much a casual game.
Yeah, the whole chibi thing turned me off to Marvel United completely.
I've
heard it's a good system though. I've heard it's good.
Yeah.
They're doing DC United now.
Okay. So the base game of United is a fun game, but the 300, I don't know, 1,000 other characters there are now between X-Men and the reprint and the Legends or whatever, the characters are all the same. They all play the same. Just buy the base game. If you enjoy it, great. But that's my take on United.
Head's too big. Too big. Can't do it.
Invincible looks great. The characters all look and feel very different. They all have their own play styles. And it's combining.
See, I'd love to see some minis for that. I mean...
right. I actually just saw from a third party, a Patreon that has some excellent Invincible miniatures that I may.
Oh, you've already got plans.
I may get into. Yeah, I've got plans. But, huge fan of Invincible.
3D printer. Extraordinary.
Super excited to check this one out. I actually went back and just bought yesterday the first volume of the comics to read because I hadn't read them yet. So.
Oh, nice. Oh, the comics are great. Love the comics.
It's awesome. Really excited to get my hands on Invincible from Direwolf.
And just so nobody's confused, it's Invincible, the hero building game, not any of the others, because there's a couple other.
Yes, there's several
people who use
coming
the
out.
IP.
Yeah. Thanks, Tom.
Let's talk about Halo Flashpoint.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah. So Mantic coming out of nowhere with Halo Flashpoint, which is a Halo miniature skirmish level game. So it's not. I think years ago there was an army level Halo miniatures game. So this is a skirmish game, smaller squads of dudes. The core box has red versus blue, not officially, but some of the miniatures are red and some of the miniatures are blue.
The actual default color of the plastic for each team is red and blue.
Yeah, totally coincidental, I'm sure.
Yes. Well, it's not like Rooster Teeth exists anymore.
Yeah. And then they've got elites, so if you did the pre-order, which I obviously did, you got Master Chief with the plasma sword as a bonus. But if you're familiar with some of Mantic's other games, particularly Dead Zone, which is their popular kind of sci-fi adventure skirmish game, uses a system of grids for moving and attacking rather than measuring. So if you look on the picture here, you can see it's larger grid spaces, squares. And it makes the game turns really fast because there's no measuring with measuring tapes or different measuring tools that games think they're clever and come up with now. You just move, however many squares you can move, whatever your range is, count that many squares. And then, you're rolling different dice depending on what your attacks or abilities are. They're going to have game modes like Oddball, Deathmatch, all of your classic Halo video game modes in the tabletop game. Looks really exciting. The miniatures are incredible. It's worth buying just for the minis if you just want some Spartan minis.
Yeah, no, my son, my oldest, he's crazy about Halo. And I'm like, finally here's a game that I can throw at him and be like, all right, no excuses.
Yeah,
no excuses.
You're
playing a tabletop game with me now. They can't all be video games. You're going to like this one. He still consistently plays Halo 2. That's his favorite.
Classic.
Yeah.
Well, I've played through the Master Chief collection a few times, so
yeah, I'm excited about that one for that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like November or tentatively November release this year. I think was the pre-order date. I could be wrong, but hopefully by the end of the year we'll get our hands on.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know what? We saw so many other games at GAMA Expo. And we've got so much video footage that we're still sorting through. Expect to see more of that in the coming weeks. A lot of great stuff from Lucky Duck, from
Hachette.
Hachette. We had a lot of great meetings, a lot of good stuff that I can't wait to show everybody. But I think we're gonna have to wrap it up. So thanks again for watching Tabletop Throwdown. As we said at the top of the show, we are going to go on an every other week schedule for the time being, because life is chaotic sometimes like that. But I hope we do have a lot of great stuff coming up. Our next episode is going to be about GaryCon. I went to GaryCon 2.5 weeks after I got back from GAMA Expo. To the best way I can put it is that my mind was just blown. Had an amazing time. So that's going to be an episode about me just kind of gushing endlessly about meeting childhood heroes, visiting places in historical places in Lake Geneva where D&D was born, and attending a convention in what used to be a huge Playboy club. So yeah, super fun. Not a con I ever want to miss again for my life. But we'll talk about that next. And then we've got some more great stuff in the pipeline. So hopefully we'll get that out to you sooner rather than later. And until then, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Definitely, if you haven't checked out some of our previous episodes, check those out. And yeah, thanks again.
Yeah. See you guys.